Hello Quack and Cherry Beauties, how's it going? Thanks for jumping on. I'm going to do some brows today. So what I've done today, actually I wasn't feeling 100%, it was one of those days, hey. So what I've done is I was home and I was doing some assignments and I thought I would also tint my lashes and my brows, so I've done that. So I've done just a home tint. Have you guys ever done some home tinting before? Have had your eyelashes tinted? I'd love to know what you think. I just love it, just to kind of give it a little something so when you're not wearing your mascara, yeah, so I've got a bit of length back with those, but because the tips of your eyelashes have a tiny bit of white, almost, even if you've got dark lashes like me. And so colouring them up, make sure it looks like you get a little bit more length. So I've done some tinting on my brows and I've tinted my lashes, and I thought I'd still like to do some brows today. So they're looking not too bad. What are you up to tonight, everybody? I'm so excited. Hi, drop on and say hi. Oh, I'm having trouble seeing some comments. So make sure you pop in the comments and say hi. So tonight, I'm so excited. I'm getting ready now because I'm going to launch one of my beautiful ladies tonight who signed up with the incredible free sign up for September. So that is super, super exciting. So I'm going to play makeup with her and a few girlfriends tonight. It's super cash and it's going to be so much fun. So we're going to do that. There's so many ladies who've decided to start a business this month using the leverage for their free sign up and reinvesting that $55 you would normally spend into their business. So it's so exciting. So if you haven't checked out that deal, guys, get on it because I don't want you to miss out. It's so cool, so very exciting. All right, so let's do some brows. I've done my base today. So what have I got on? I do my medium color correcting tinted moisturizer and followed up with my dewy foundation. And I like that for a nice thicker coverage. And I have done I did some green concealer down here because I'm having a little bit of a skin hiccup down here and it was quite red, but you can't tell that now because I've gone color corrected with green underneath my foundation. And I used Chocolate Cherry Blush Scents with my pearlizer. Just practically bathing in my pearlizer. It is so stunning. And I pearlized up my cheeks, a bit on my nose, and just done some highlighting and on the inner corners of my eyes and brow bones. So I practically bathed in that pearlizer. It is just so great for this time of year. So let's do some brows. So I'm going to use my trusty angle brush here so you can have a look there. It's a flat brush, so you can see, and it's got a little bit of a diagonal curve. I really like that because I find this one particularly is the same. Hello beautiful Beth, how are you? It's the same thickness as the brow I like, so I really like that. So when I go to do my brows, it gives me a really good thickness, and you can use that as you thin out down here. You can put that on the tip. How's your day, beautiful? Hey. So that's what I'm going to use, my flat angle brush. And so with my brows, I like my brows a little bit darker. So you can use a couple of options with your Senegence item. So you can use this Brow Sense. So the way that works is a very thin, if you can see, it's a very thin brush, and you use it to actually create little hairs. So you just feather it through, and then so what you do, you use the spoolie on the other side to brush it through then, and it creates a really natural, then you so brush that through, so it creates a really natural brow. So drop me in the comments, do you prefer a thick brow? Do you prefer a natural brow? I'd like to know, because this is always a raging kind of contentious thing. I've just seen, I think it was Rihanna's on the cover of Vogue, and she's got these pencil thin brows, and I thought, no, we are not doing that. We're not going back there. There will be an uprising, and we are not going back to that remember the really thin 90s brow? Some people are still suffering from the 90s brow. So thick or thin, put that in the comments and let me know what you think. If you like a more natural brow, let's not even have thick or thin. Let's have thick or natural, because we are not going back to thin. So that's the Brow Sense. What I prefer to do myself is I like the Shadow Sense because, like I said, it's that thicker, full of stars. So I'm going to mix a couple to get my perfect shade. So I mix a little bit of the Garnet with a little bit of Ebony Essence. So I mix these two together So I get these babies and I just do a little bit on my hand, just a tiny bit. Just roll it. Roll with it. What are you up to tonight, Beth? How's those little boys of yours? I'll just put a little bit of that in here too. So I kind of do 2 parts garnet, 1 part this Ebony Essence. So you can do your own. If you're blonde or fair, Mocha Java is an excellent fair colour. And some ladies, most ladies, if you're red, it depends on what kind of red and how fair you are, but a lot of ladies just like to use garnet just for those brows. And we've also had a brand new release colour. So we had a Cowgirl collection of lip scents and of shadow scents just released. I can't wait. I can't wait. You're catching it. Busy smashing watermelon. Oh, they'd love it. That's great. Our Cowgirl collection that's just coming in. I can't wait. My order should just about be here. Comes with a rustic brown, which is probably less red than the garnet, so it's a little bit more of a settled brown, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be my perfect brow colour. So it was sold out though, so I'm going to have to wait to get it. I'm going to show you guys as soon as I get my order. Alright, so what I like to do is I just put a little bit on the end of this. Now, a trick to what I like to do is I start halfway down my brow, because you've got quite a lot of product on there, even if you've only, remember you can always add more, but you do have quite a bit. So by starting halfway down your brow, it means that that's where it's a bit thicker. And so I just go down and I start right in the middle, because you don't really want that. Some people do like that really thick marker start, but I like to have, oh, there's a flock of corellas flying over my house. It's beautiful. They're noisy. So I like to feather out the start a little bit more, because I like to have a gradual start to my brow instead of a really thick one. So personal preference, but that's a tip if you prefer. Now, what you can do, like me, I just go in and go for it, but what you can do is make sure that when you're starting, your brow should start, if you were to hold a pencil up and down, your brow should start on the inside of that, and it should finish on the outside of your eye. Hi Brandy, how you going, lovely? On the outside of your eye, you notice the outside of your eye, that should be where your brow finishes. So my natural brow, not too bad of that. I do get mine done kind of every so often. It's just, you know, what I like to do. The peak of your brow, so because you don't want really, really flat brows, unless that's what you want with your face shape. But so the peak of your brow arch should be through to your pupil to the top there. So you can see how mine, that's my peak. I have quite flat brows naturally to start with, but I'm gonna try and make this part here. You can put a little dot there if you want, and you can just join the dots up. So if I was to do this on this eye, looking through, that should be where my peak is. So I can do a little dot as to where the peak of my brow should be. Vice versa for the end. There, and the start's pretty straightforward. So you can do that, see how I've marked that up? The other thing is, don't worry too much about brows. Don't get too anxious about getting it wrong, because cotton tips are the best. You can just go through with a cotton tip and tidy up any mistakes. With your shadow sense though, once it's on, it's kind of on. It's budge proof and water resistant. So you see how I've turned my brush straight up and down to get that tail of my brow there. So I've gone thick through here, used the full thickness of the brush, and then I've turned it to go down this way. So I'm going to go back and do the front of my brow now, the head there, because I've got less product on my brush, and remember, I don't want that as thick or as heavy as the rest of my brow. Now, I'm talking a fair bit, so you can see that the shadow sensor's dried up a fair bit, because I'm really talking and not putting it on too much, but that's okay, because we can just go back and get some more. Okay, so another thing you can do as well is to turn that brush again straight and make a line up to get that top. So most ladies, it's quite good to go, don't take your brow down too much underneath, try to create your brow shape on top. to then use that as a guide to how thick you want your brows to be. Because if you paint extra, I say paint, but if you put extra product below your brow, you'll probably find that you're losing a lot of space on your eyelid that can be used for shadow. So you might find it looks a bit funny, but just have a play and see what's right for you. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you prefer. And see, I'm just going very gently here to get that work in. So you see my brow, there's not a lot of product here, but then it gets quite thick here. And that's what we want. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the other side too. I'm gonna get some more garnet. Just a little bit, don't need much. Don't need much at all. And just mix a little bit more of that ebony essence through. Okie dokie. It is glorious weather here. It is just so beautiful, hey. It feels like it's gone from freezing winter to baking. All right. Hi Marshall, how you going? So you see I've got those marks there. I still have that stuff for you. I'll message you. So I still have those marks where my peak should be and where it should end. And I'm going to start again halfway through using the flat part of my brush. And I'm going to take that up to that peak because I'm creating some interest in my brow here. But remember, we don't want this just flat across. We want a little raise there because otherwise it'll look a little funny. And it's okay, see I've accidentally dotted too far down. That's all right, that's what cotton tips were. I mean, they're kind of not really made for it, but cotton tips are awesome for cleaning up brow areas. Another trick that some ladies like to do is to outline their brow with concealer, light concealer, and it helps to make a nice clean line if that's what you like as well. So you can do that. So I'm getting rid of, looking forward to your message. Yeah, I think I said I'd do that last week. My goodness. Time's flying at the moment, hey. It's nearly school holidays. How exciting. Who's excited for school holidays? I bet you are. So you can see again, I'm taking that out and taking that back up to where my peak is there on my brow. There we go. And tidying up the line here. And see, I'm wiping most of the product off my brush. Get rid of it because we're going to do the insides and we want that to be not very thick. Can you hear Amazon playing the xylophone in the background? Yep. Mum life, that's for sure. Righto. One more day, woohoo, how exciting. Okay. Go back and make sure that peak's there. Alrighty, this is what we've got. This is our brow. You can see I really like that darker, thicker brow. Again, with your cotton tip, you can kind of fuzzy out that a little bit more at the start if you prefer a really gradual kind of build into your brow. But you can see what's important here is we do have that peak right in the middle through your pupil here, and it starts where it should and it ends where it should. So that's brow basics. We can go back, like I said, with your concealer. I would go cotton tip first. Hi Katrina, how are you? Beautiful. You must be very excited too about the last day of school being tomorrow. How fun. So we can go back with our cotton tip and tidy those little bits up and fuzz out the front of your brow, the top, start here if you'd like a really, really gradual start to your brow. Another trick too is you can get your concealer. So for most of us, I think it would be light. So you can get your light concealer and just put a little bit on your hand again and get a thin brush and really go around the edges too. And you can blend your concealer out to get a really nice defined brow as well. It just depends on what you prefer. Okay, ladies, I hope that was helpful to you. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll show you a picture because I'm so excited. I'm gonna do a cut crease with a couple of different bright colors because another friend that also works in our business, has her own business with Senegence, she did an amazing eye makeup look with some brand new colors I don't have yet, but they're coming. But it just inspired me to try a few different things, and I'm going to do that tonight, well this afternoon, and wear it tonight to launch one of my beautiful downlines business tonight at her party. So that should be pretty cool. So I'll post pictures on a little bit later. Okay, so this is our brows, yay. Go back and clean that up with my trusty cotton tip. Have a great Thursday, ladies, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.